supporting it instead of the other way around. You know, sometimes you can read things, and I know it seems very, very simple, but I want to make sure that we are taking the fullness of the concept. And when we're taking these concepts are not to be to float about. They are to be rooted in how you operate, okay? So my goal by the time we finish today is for you to see duality everywhere. It's for you to literally, in every movement, in action, for you to see the duality in the thing. If you only see one side of anything, you're imbalanced. I don't care what it is. If you only see one side, and I'm saying in your innocence, in ignorance even, if you only see one side, it will cause an imbalance in you. And you will not be able to grow properly until you receive the pair of the thing. So here, Imam Muhammad, he is giving us an understanding of Cain and Abel and Cain's movement in the society, that it created a pressure, which is the same pressure that the movement created for Muhammad the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It ideally should be the same pressure that you feel when you see imbalance in the world. It should create a pressure for you. And the pressure then seeks its pair for the material of the social life, in order to balance it. So you're feeling the pressure of all of this energy that came and the corruption inside of that thing, and then you seek out a balance in it. This is the movement of the social life now. This is what gets us to the point of saying, now I need to get to know something else, because this one side that I have known has created a problem for me. And if I only have the one side now, the nature of social is to get to know. So now you got to become social with your own thinking and get to know another side of your own thought process. So it drives you by the nature of the thing in the second mercy. That now it drives you to enlightenment, to know, to move forward, and to become social. So, you know, the movement of the Hajj, the biggest reality of the Hajj is the social reality. That's the biggest reality of the Hajj, is the social reality. And once again, it being such a foundational piece that we can move past it sometimes, not understanding that you should see everything in pairs, and where you don't see a pair, you should become social and seek out the other pair. You should just start being a social being in everything that you're operating with. In you. Everything in you. So, the reason I said that this is relating to Imam Yahya's talk is going to be the relationship to the material life as it relates to the social life. I'm going to read something that came off of a site, and I'm not like him. I'm not plagiarizing. I'm telling you it came off a site. I can't tell you which one. I'll get better in my citing skills eventually, inshallah. But I'm going to read something because it's giving you something about human social systems. Let me make sure I don't need to give you something else first. So it says, human social systems being what they are, it is often the differences in wealth that make people feel rich or poor. In a third world nation, a family with indoor plumbing, running water, decent food and clothing, and access to health care and education is quite well off. In the United States, however, millions of people who have those things are considered poor because they have little else, and those things constitute the bare essentials in America. In this most developed of economies, dwellings without plumbing are not legally fit for habitation. Public assistance programs such as food stamps, Medicare, and Medicaid assure at least adequate levels of nutrition and health care, and public education is compulsory for children. That's the end of that. When we think on the social life, there is oftentimes a separation of the social life from the material life. And let me see if I can make sure that this is clear, because you're saying, well, you said there's material life and the social life. Surely they're two different things. Yes, they are. But they are interwoven in the production of things. So your social life and first of all, the material life and the pressure on you drives you to your social life. And then your establishment of your social life drives you to material life. Okay? Your establishment of social life should drive you to material realities. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to get to know you and we don't need anything because that material did us bad. Right? Because it drove you, because you're thinking, it pressed you so hard that it drove you there. It drove you to the other pair of the social life. But pairs are not bad or good. They just are meant to be together. So to have one extreme in one pair, similar to, I often say the reason that many people in the community respond so well to myself or Kalima when we come up. Right? It's actually, I will venture to say that many imams in this nation can come up here and give this lecture that I'm giving. It's not that the information is any newfangled information. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking away what Allah gives me as a credit to be able to deliver to people, male or female. Because everyone has a gift. But I'm saying the response is actually what you are feeling is a social interaction that has missed the feminine reality in delivering and receiving information. That's what you're responding to. You're not just responding to the information. You're responding to the nature meeting with its pair in order to balance life. That's real. That is a powerful motivator to move the world up. That's not a little thing. Pairing is not a little thing. That's why marriage isn't a little thing. It's a great motivator. If everything has a pair, it's not only is it not a little thing, it's in everything. So something that is in everything can't be little. So when you look at societies that don't have a lot, as a matter of fact, I'm going to ask you all a few questions. only because of where we are right now and what we've been talking about, I think you guys are going to answer in a certain way. But this is the thing. I want you all to answer from your unconscious states. I know y'all Muslims fasting, so y'all conscious right now. You've been in Ramadan sessions for the last 2 days. You see everything right now. Everything you like, you may see some stuff you don't see. So I'm going to ask a few questions. I want you all to, these following statements, I want you to tell me which one is true. And you can answer loud, you can answer to yourself, whatever the case may be. But what I want you to register with is what comes to your mind first. Rich people are greedy. Money corrupts people. People get rich by taking advantage of others. Good people should not care about money. So I know I can't ask this after email Yahya went up. It's like impossible, right? Everybody in here is thinking, no, I'm sorry. But I would venture to say, even amongst you all, had I asked many of these questions and caught you not at a conscious state. Yes, ma'am.
I was going to say, I answered in general because most of the time that's negative. Usually the opposite. And like you said, if we would have had the talk before, everything would have been the opposite.
Had you not been brought to a level of consciousness prior to me coming up here, many would have, right? It would have come. Just think of what permeates through the society in the world of African Americans, and not just African Americans. So here's the thing I want you all to understand that there is I was trying to see. They've done research. They've looked at this thing. And many poor people hate rich people. No, this is research. They found, and even sometimes if you look at some of the policies and how we want things to be, right? Many rich people, poor people hate rich people. Now that also goes to the reverse. There are many rich people, right, that they despise poor people. Because they believe, they say what? You need to get up and do something for yourself. And then the poor person on the other side of that says what? You took all the wealth. You got it all. You did this to me. The African American uses this argument very consistently. And we say, white America, and I put it in quotes because I really, really, really don't use that language anymore. Not in referencing people as a race. I will use it to reference the whole state of humanity at a condition, but I will not use it to identify a group of people as a race. Neither black. Black and white are conditions of the human being. They are not races for any particular people of the human race. But in this quote unquote, right, the white man, it's just so, it fits how we think about it, right? And I'm saying, when I say we, I'm talking about we collectively, okay? And I say we, I can use this we for Hispanics. I mean, I have Hispanic friends, and we can all sit around. My loan assistant, my administrative assistant, when I was a loan officer at a particular bank. She was Hispanic, right? And I remember when I started having problems with the immediate supervisor above me, who was a Caucasian young lady who was a loan officer, and she was like the white man trying to hold us down, Aneesah.